morning. This is me, Nafisa. What is thalassemia? Thalassemia is a group of inherited or genetic blood disorders. What is the meaning of inherited? Means passed through families. Thalassemia affects the body's ability to produce normal hemoglobin. Therefore, results in less hemoglobin production. Hemoglobin is the iron-rich protein present in red blood cells. Hemoglobin carries oxygen from the blood to all the cells of the body and carbon dioxide to the lungs to be exhaled. Oxygen is a sort of food that cells use to function. If a person has thalassemia, means less hemoglobin, so less RBCs in blood, this condition is called as anemia. Less hemoglobin, so less RBCs, so less oxygen is delivered to the cells of the body, which may cause a person to feel tired, that is fatigued, weak, or have shortness of breath. What causes thalassemia? Thalassemia is passed from the parent to the child through genes. A gene is part of the body's cells that stores instructions for the way your body grows, looks, and works. Sometimes the instructions in the genes changes. This is called as a gene change or a mutation. A gene change can cause a gene to not work correctly. Thalassemia is because the genes that code for hemoglobin have defect or are mutated. This means that genes are permanently altered, hence thalassemia is a lifelong condition. Hence the body's ability to make healthy hemoglobin is affected lifelong. World Thalassemia Day is observed on 8th May every year to ensure more people know of this critical health condition. There are two main types of thalassemia. On the basis of specific part of hemoglobin which is affected, either alpha or beta, named after defects in the chains. And second one is severity of thalassemia, which is classified as straight, carrier, minor, intermediate, or major. Let's learn in detail. Hemoglobin is made up of two proteins, alpha globin and beta globin. Hemoglobin consists of two alpha globin chains and two beta globin chains. That is, 4 protein chains are there. These protein chains contains genetic information or genes passed down from parents. These genes act as code for hemoglobin. If one or more genes are defective or missing, then the person will have thalassemia. If gene or genes that make alpha globin protein are mutated, so alpha hemoglobin is not made enough, hence this is called as alpha thalassemia. If gene or genes that make beta globin protein are mutated, so beta hemoglobin is not made enough, and this is called as beta thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia include the following two forms: thalassemia major and thalassemia minor. Type of thalassemia depends on the gene defect or faulty gene that a person inherits from both parents. If the faulty gene is got from only one parent, then the person has thalassemia minor. People with thalassemia minor are carriers of the disease. Most of the time, they do not have any symptoms. If a person inherits gene defect from both parents, then develops thalassemia major. There are 4 kinds of alpha thalassemia. One defective alpha gene or one missing alpha gene means a person is a carrier and will not have symptoms, but they pass on the condition to their children. Name for this condition is alpha thalassemia minima. If 2 defective alpha genes or 2 missing alpha genes are there, means a person will experience mild symptoms, which may make her or him feel tired. Another name is alpha thalassemia minor, also called as alpha thalassemia trait. If 3 defective alpha genes or 3 missing alpha genes, means the person will experience moderate to severe symptoms. Another name for this condition is hemoglobin H disease. If 4 defective alpha genes or 4 missing alpha genes are there, this is the most serious form of alpha thalassemia. It can lead to stillbirth or the death of a baby shortly after birth. Stillbirth is when the baby dies in the womb after 20 weeks of pregnancy. In those rare instances when a newborn survives, they are likely to need lifelong blood transfusions. Alpha thalassemia major, or another name for this condition, is hydrops fetalis with hemoglobin Barts. There are 3 kinds of beta thalassemia: one defective beta gene or one missing beta gene, Most people with this form have no signs or symptoms, or they may have mild symptoms. Another name for this condition is beta thalassemia minor, also called as beta thalassemia trait. They can pass the defective gene to their children. Two defective beta gene or two missing beta genes means the person experiences moderate to severe symptoms. The moderate version is called as beta thalassemia intermedia. Most serious form of beta thalassemia involving two gene mutations is called as beta thalassemia major or Cooley's anemia. Most children with thalassemia major seem healthy at birth but develop severe anemia during the first few years of life. Without treatment, they can develop liver, bone, and heart problems. The symptoms of thalassemia, depending on the number of genes a person has inherited, causes anemia-like symptoms that range from mild to severe. A person with mild thalassemia might have no symptoms or mild symptoms and may not need treatment. A person with thalassemia major may have severe symptoms and might require regular blood transfusions and iron chelation therapy. Fatigue, one of the symptoms of thalassemia, can be taken care of by choosing a healthy diet and exercising regularly. Thank you very much.